What's up YouTube? Thanks for checking out another video. My name is Philosopher, the Monotone Magic player, and today I'm going to be bringing you a budget kicker deck. But before I get into that, I just had a couple announcements to make. Number one is the audio in this video is a little bit messed up. At the very beginning of all my sentences, it kind of spikes, and it's because I tried to change some settings in OBS, and I think it didn't work out. I've gone back through and changed them, so hopefully this sounds great. I don't know because I'm recording it right now. But yeah, just a little bit of a heads up that the audio might be a little bit off. It's nothing too crazy, but just wanted to give you all a heads up. And then the second thing is we are still doing our giveaway over on the box opening video. So today is October 2nd. We're going to be doing that until October 5th, I believe. So if you haven't already, go check out that video. Look at the description, listen to the video. It gives you all the details on the giveaway, and you can be entered to win a set booster. And then last but not least, of course, thank you to everybody who's been checking out the channel, who subscribed already. It means a ton to me. And yeah, we're getting more subscribers every day, tons of views, so thank y'all for that. And then again, if the deck guide is not for you, go check out the description down below or the little bar, and you can just skip straight to the gameplay. But if you're one that likes to watch the deck guide, let's get into it. So this deck is a Simic, so blue-green kicker deck, and it is budget friendly. The only rares I have are Verazol and then a few of the lands that I separated over here. This whole deck could be played without any rares. I really wanted to play with Verazol because I don't think that there's another deck where I would play with Verazol, but it seemed pretty cool. So I did throw it in here, and then I had these lands already from just opening packs. But if you wanted to, this could all be basic lands. You could run, Evolving Wilds instead of like the Fable Passages. And then instead of Verazol, just throw in, like I have 2 copies here, 3 copies here, 3 copies here. You can just throw in those 3 copies of Verazol, remove those, and put them into the other cards that don't have 4 copies. But yeah, mainly it is all budget. There's only the 1 rare in the deck in terms of creatures and then the land. So let's get into it. So the whole point of the deck is we wanted to have low cost, like low CMC cards, right? Low converted mana cost cards. To play in the early game, but things that when you start to kick them, and so like whenever you have a lot of mana and you have that excess cost that you can pay for, then it basically extends your CMC curve. So as you can see here, it's like all 1 and 2 costs, but really when you start to kick things like this, could become an 8 cost. So it makes the deck very flexible, and that's what I liked about it. So anyways, getting into the cards, we have Bubble Snare, which is a 1 blue or 1 cost blue enchantment that says enchant creature. When enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step, but if you kick it for 4, so 2 blue and 2 generic, when Bubble Snare enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, tap enchanted creature. So you can either pay the 1 blue to keep something tapped if your opponent already tapped out, like they attacked you with an Ajani's Primate or something like that, you can tap it, or you can pay 4 to force them to tap that creature. And then we have 3 copies of Roost of Drakes, which is a 1 blue mana enchantment. You can kick it for 2 generic and a blue, so same cost as Bubble Snare. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying, and whenever you cast a kick spell, create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying. So a lot of these cards either have kicker or care about spells being kicked. And so this one has both. So if you cast any other kicked spell, you create a 2/2 blue Drake. And if you have the mana when you play this for the first time, you can just kick it there and you get a 2/2 Drake. So this helps us have a lot of blockers, and it's also, they're flying blockers, so that's really nice. And even swinging in for lethal if you get enough of these. We have 4 Reclaim the Waste, which is a 1 cost green sorcery that says search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. If the spell is kicked, search your library for 2 basic land cards instead of 1. So this just helps make sure that we hit all of our land drops. Also, Wiley Becker, your art is amazing. I love it. So thank you for that. And then if you pay the 3 kicker cost, then you get to find, like I said, 2 lands, right? So it just helps make sure we hit our land drops. And also it's a pretty cheap, like all these at 4 aren't that expensive in terms of the other ones that care about kicker spells. Then we have 4 copies of Into the Royal, which is a 1 generic and 1 blue instant that says return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. And then you can kick it for another generic and a blue mana, and it says if the spell is kicked, draw a card. So a nice little bit of draw. If something is a issue, like let's say that they played a an enchantment that's an issue, or a planeswalker that's an issue, or a creature that has a bunch of counters on it, you can just bounce it and, you know, buy yourself a little bit of time. Then we have 4 copies of Gnarly Colony. Now, even though this is a common, this card is very, very important in the deck. It is a 2-cost 2/2 with kicker, 2 generic, and a green, so effectively making a 5 cost if you kick it. If it was kicked, it enters the battlefield 2+1/+1 counters on it. But the second line of text is what the very important part. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample. So the trample allows us to, since we're not going to go that wide, maybe with Roost of Drakes you might get a few creatures that can go a little bit wide or over since they're flying. But this really allows us to make sure that all of our grounded creatures still get through for damage instead of just getting chump blocked. And then it goes very well with Vine Gecko, which is a 2-cost 2/2 elemental lizard that says the first kick spell you cast each turn costs 1 less to cast, 1 generic less to cast. I kept forgetting about this. Try not to forget about this. It is a very good effect. I just forgot about it because I had it for its second part, which was whenever you cast a kick spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Vine Gecko. So any of these spells that you kick into the, like, if whether it's control or another creature, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on Vine Gecko, and if you combine it with Gnarly Colony, then you have trample. So nice interaction between these two. Then I have 4 copies of Lol Mage's Familiar. It's a little bit of ramp. It's a 3-cost 2/4 that allows you to tap for 1 blue or 1 green, and then whenever you cast a kick spell, you gain 2 life. So this one's really nice. I mean, life gain in any deck is really, really nice. And again, it just rewards us for playing our kick spells, plus it's a little bit of ramp on 3, so super great card. And then we have, in our 4 drops, we have 2 copies of a Vastward Surge, which is a 4-cost sorcery with kicker 4, so either a 4-cost or 8-cost. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. If the spell is kicked, put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. So now our Lol Mage's Familiar becomes a 4/6. And our Roost of Drake become, like, all those Drakes become 4/4s. And then now they all have trample. So this is a very nice card to pair with the Gnarly Colony and, you know, the smaller creatures that we put out early. And then we have 3 copies of Wild Onslaught, which is another 4-cost with an additional kicker cost of 4. You can put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. If it was kicked, you put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control instead. So again, same as Vastwood Surge with the second ability. Only difference is the first ability doesn't fetch you lands. It just puts the +1/+1 counters on creatures. I put a split of both because I really wanted the +1/+1 counters to make sure that we actually had a win condition. And then this right here is definitely a win condition. 3 copies of Grun the Lonely King, which is a 4 generic and 2 green legendary creature Ape Warrior. Comes down as a 5/5, but if you kick it for 3 additional mana, making it a 9-cost, then it enters battlefield with 5 additional 1/1 counters on it, making it a 10/10. And whenever Grun attacks alone, double its power and toughness until end of turn. So you don't even have to worry about making your Vine Gecko big or your Gnarly Colony or your Drakes, anything like that. You can just play Grun, and if you pay the kicker, right, for 9, it comes down as a 10/10. You attack alone, it becomes a 20/20. If you pair that with a Gnarly Colony, it also has trample. So that could very quickly end games by itself. I've never played Grun. It's a pretty bad card in my opinion, but it's fun here. And then you have 3 copies of Verazal the Split Current. Like I said, this is the one I really wanted to build around. So Verazal is a 1 green, 1 blue, and an X cost. So you can pay as little as 2 or as much as you want. And it enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each mana spent to cast it. So even if you pay 0 for the X cost, it still comes down as a 2/2 because you paid a blue and a green for it. And then everything after that is just an additional 1/1 counter. And then it says, whenever you cast a kick spell, you may remove 2 +1/+1 counters from Verazal. If you do, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. So that means double bubble snares. That means we get all of our lands out with Reclaim the Waste. That means we put a ton of +1/+1 counters on everything. We bounce multiple permanents. So this card is very, very nice. Even if you just play it on turn 4, right? You play it as a 4-cost. You can still double cast 2 kick spells because all you have to do is take off 2 +1/+1 counters. And if it's one of these spells that give +1/+1 counters, then you actually don't remove any counters. So that's super nice. And then the rare land, Throne of Makindi, if you do have it, I would recommend running this one. It says you can tap it for a generic. You can pay 1 mana, tap it, put a charge counter on this land, and then if you tap it and remove a charge counter, you add 2 mana of any one color and spend this mana only to cast kick spells. So it does help you ramp a little bit, like on those turns where you don't really need all your lands and you just throw a charge counter on Throne of Makindi, And then whenever you need to, you know, play Grunt or Wild Onslaught or anything like that, you can spend the extra mana. So yeah, that's the deck. Like I said, super budget friendly. If you don't have Verazal, that's fine. Take it out, put in some more Wild Onslaughts, Vastwood Surges, maybe Roost of Drakes, because this is a very good card in my opinion. Run it with basic lands, Evolving Wilds, things like that. And yeah, I mean, I got pretty good results with it, as you're about to see in the video. And yeah, I mean, I was pretty happy with it. So let me know if you try out the deck, and let me know how it does for you. And yeah, don't forget to watch the other video, join the giveaway, like this video, subscribe, check out Twitter, Instagram, all that, you know. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. You know, I've always thought that background looks like Merchant a little bit in the back. All right, game 1 versus Cerebral Clone. Do I like this hand? Yeah, I think it's okay to keep. Ooh, okay. Hopefully we're playing against somebody of similar power level, since they're playing a tapped land like that. I don't want the colony. Let's do Vine Gecko. Because this is, for the most part, it is budget. We have, besides the rare lands, we only have, the only other rare card that we have is, our Sea Dragon. Yeah, I figured they wouldn't block, since they have life gain, and I feel like Impassioned Orator is going to be a really big deal for them. So I'm wondering if it's like some green-white counter, like +1/+1 counter / life gain deck. Okay, Birth of Miletus. Okay. Ooh, okay. Honestly, I like that. I like that we have 2. Now the question is, do I need to bounce? I think we save the bounce. Let's save the colony, because that needs 5. So we'll kick this, just to make sure that we get some extra mana. Go like that. Oh, we could have played it. I keep forgetting that Vine Gecko actually reduces it by 1. We'll play like that. I guess we'll hold up into the Royal. We'll swing like that. Because we can, next turn, we could just bounce their 0/4 wall with Royal. But I forget that Vine Gecko actually reduces the cost by 1. So we didn't, like, we had an extra mana last turn. Okay, there's another Impassioned Orator. 2 of them kind of become a problem. Pacifism. We could bounce our creature back to our hand, like our own creature. We don't get to draw the card. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that since we have the mana for it. I guess they get in for 2 damage for free. We might have wanted to wait until after they cast it. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we just go like triple Lull Mage's Familiar? I mean, they're pretty big. 2 4s are pretty good for 3 mana. It helps us ramp really, really well. And then we could go Vine Gecko into like a colony, like a gnarly colony. I don't hate it. Let's go like that. I'm waiting for like, ooh, okay, Felidar Retreat is gonna be an issue. I don't think we have any enchantment removal outside of like bounce effects with Royal. Like we could bounce their creature. I think maybe we bounce retreat. Maybe we bounce retreat to make them cast it again. Again, I don't don't hate it. I'm sorry for the lag. It's my first game on. Oh, hello, little baby. We'll go ahead and play that as well. Yeah, for some reason the client just tanks when it's like my first game on. Hello? Okay, there you go. Go ahead and get another island so we're evened out 3 and 3. Okay. Now, do we bounce with Royal? Let's go ahead and do that. Nice little bit of life gain from Low Mage. Okay, reclaim the wave so we can actually play that for its kicker. This is helping us get through our deck really well, actually. All these lands that we're searching for. The only issue is that when they start, like, because they're just gonna replay the retreat, they probably have a land in hand. Oh, they don't. Okay, nice. I was gonna say, because then they're gonna get stuff that's really big. Okay, we'll go like this. We'll kick that. We will kick this. Look at us. We're the life gain deck. Joke's on you. They could block with everything to kill it. Yeah, I figured they wouldn't. So the nice thing is that Gnarled Colony gives all of our stuff trample if it has a +1/+1 counter on it. So they're 2/2s. They're gonna have to like beef up their creatures for them to really stand a chance. And hopefully we can just overwhelm them, because I'm assuming they can only play 1 land this turn. Oh no. Okay, they get 2 on the battlefield. And if they have another land in hand, I think they have another land in hand. Oh, okay, they're just making blockers. Well, I guess we're gonna go do this again. Just keep getting our lands out. We need to hit like that same card that they just played. We want to get our copy, because it would put 2 +1/+1 counters on everything that we have. Let's see. Do we just get... Let's get really aggressive. If they block out... The good thing, like if they block, since they have trample, right? Well, these don't have trample, but then they would just trade with whatever they're blocking with. And these, since they have trample, like I feel like they're not gonna... Okay, there you go. Wow, they're actually just sacking all their cats. I think that was a mistake. I think they should have really like only gotten 2 cats and then buffed their stuff. Like giving them extra +1/+1 counters. Because then it would have gotten really scary. Oh, Banishing Light. What is that on the Gecko? No, don't hurt my Gecko. Alright. 2 Banishing Lights? Come on, man. It's no fun. Oh, isn't that what I said we needed to? My cats are popping off over there. Okay, so we kick this. Gain a little bit of life. Get our last 2 lands. Our last 2 basics at least. And now since these have trample, that should be GG's. Yeah, good game. Okay, game 1 goes to us. You can see that I played this deck a little bit off stream before. But okay, first game goes to us. 1 game, 1 win. We like to see that. Alright, we've got game 2 versus VP Graham. The Huatley avatar also. Don't see very many Huatley avatars. Alright, VP. I wonder what they're playing. I wonder if they're being true to like the Huatley Planeswalkers and doing like the toughness is actually power theme. I don't really like this hand, if we're being honest. Like, we're not going to play Grunt for a while. We don't have any ramp. We're not going to be able to kick anything. I mean, we kind of have a curve. We'll go ahead and keep. I don't think I don't think we should have kept this hand though. I think it's gonna be pretty hard, and it's gonna be really hard when they give us 2 gruns. That's no fun. I'll just do it on their turn. Keep them guessing as to what we're playing. So, okay, they grazer. I mean, we'll do this now. So if they're playing Gruul, they're also off to a slow start, which is pretty good for us. I mean, they're ramping, but at least we're not taking damage to the face. Bubble Snare is nice. Okay, that's actually pretty good. We'll drop this. We will Vine Gecko. And then next turn we can Roost of Drakes because it's normally a 4 cost. Wait, did we not put our land down? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Put a forest, right? Okay. Oh, okay, good. We actually got our island. Because I was going to say, oh, we need a 3rd land. But we got our island, so that works out well for us. Yeah, don't I have enough? Hello? Why did it do that? There you go. So then whenever I kick that, I get a 2/2 Drake. I don't like that. We're going to start attacking. I could see them just taking it. Because they definitely want their Drover of the Mighty. Okay. I was going to say they might want the Grazer to block it when it's a little bit bigger. Quartzwood Chaser. Ooh, that is not nice. No bueno. So we're going to Bubble Snare that. I wish I had Verazol on the field. Because, what do we need? We need a forest. Because then I could kick this Bubble Snare and we could get rid of both. But we definitely need to answer this Quartzwood nonsense. So we're gonna Bubble Snare that. Get a little bit bigger, get a Drake. So now that won't be able to attack us, which is super nice because that thing was gonna pop off. We definitely, I mean, I guess oh shoot. And Marauding Raptor? Okay, so Galta... Maybe I should have waited to double it. Bubble Snare? Ah, oh, crap. I was hoping maybe. Let me see. +1/+1 counter on everything. We could kick a Roost of Drakes again. That would give us 5, 7, 9. We could kill Galta if we do Roost of Drakes and just trump out like our Vine Geckos and stuff. I don't hate it. Whoops, wrong one. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Because Galta is kind of like the last card in their hand, right? So that's 8, and that would be 13 worth. So we'll keep all these back. That's why, okay. That's what I figured they would do, and we will just block this entirely to kill it. Now, it would really suck if they had a second Galta in hand, like after this, they... Ember Cleave on Galta should be fucking illegal. Oh my god. GG's. Oh, don't give me the oops, dude. Don't give me the oops. Yeah, we'll concede there. Don't be like that guy. Don't be like that person. VP Graham. Don't be like VP Graham. If you get the win, you get the win, okay? But also, Ember Cleave is a broken ass card, so... Oh, that's a feels bad. Alright, we've got game 3 versus Bob Arc. Or Bob Arch. Hey, hey. Behave, little baby. So we got 2 lands in hand. We've got the Reclaim. We got the Gecko. I think this is a really, really good opening hand, honestly. I think what we want to do is turn 1 Reclaim, turn 2 Gecko. With a 3rd land, we can turn 3 Roost. Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking this hand. Okay, they start off tapped. Verazol is a welcome sight. Again, that's the only rare in the deck besides some rare lands. What do I want? I need another blue source, I think. Because I do want to kick the Roost of Drakes. I feel a board wipe coming my way, actually. Anytime I see Esper colors, I'm just super worried about a board wipe. Or just like removal in general. Chromatic Lantern. I have another Vine Gecko. If I do Vine Gecko, I don't have enough for this because it would still cost 2 blue. I do like having double Vine Geckos though, possibly. No, I think we'll just do... Do I want to do another Gecko? If I do that, I can't kick anything in my hand. No, let's just do Drake. I think that would be faster. I don't know why it keeps doing this. Like, I have the mana. Okay. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we get board wipe this turn also. So maybe it was better to go with the enchantment for that reason. They do shock in, although they were already on 4 because of Chromatic Lantern being able to tap for 1 as well. Yeah, I don't know why they shocked that in if all they were gonna do was Kaya's Wrath. Okay. Let's do Gecko. Let's hold up Colony, I guess, so we can kick that. Yeah, let's just do Gecko for now. Maybe put 1 Gnarly Colony out. No, I want it to come in with the counters. Okay, we'll just put this in. Sorry, I keep looking at this screen because my cat's in front of the other screen and I can't see it. I was gonna show the other camera. Okay, hopefully they don't just have like repeated board wipes. Okay, they have another Kaya. I'm assuming they exiled something. Vastwood Surge is really nice, but I really want to kick it. Dude, I mean, we need the lands, right? No, let's just do this. I don't know. I don't understand why it keeps having me pay when we have the mana for it. But, I mean, whatever. Okay, we'll kill Kaya just in case. I mean, I don't think Kaya is that good a planeswalker, personally. I think she's actually pretty ass. Okay, they don't do anything. Maybe they're waiting to, God, my cat is being so bad. Maybe they're waiting to, board wipe. So I think we're just gonna do the Vastwood Surge this turn. I mean, we already have them dead in 2 turns. There's no reason to commit more. Not in 2 turns, but... didn't say please. Okay. They hit a land and they hit another Vastwood Surge, which kind of sucks. Okay, so next turn, we could play the Gnarlid Colony to kick it, and then they die, because that would give +1 counter there. Okay, or we could get Murderous Ridered. Ooh, Grun. Let's go ahead and drop the other Gnarlid. Okay, so they have to have 2 answers. Well, they will get their Murderous Rider down, but we can Bubble Snare it. Hey, good game. Even with the board wipe, we're able to win that one. Good job, Bob Arch. GG's. Alright, let's try one more game. Okay, we've got game 3 versus Luis CBP with a Rakdos avatar. You don't see very many Rakdos avatars, honestly. Okay, so we're gonna have a very similar start to last game, where turn 1 Reclaim, turn 2 Gecko, turn 3 Roost. Will we have a turn 3 Roost? We might not, because we don't have double blue. This needed to be a blue. Hopefully we draw another island, and then we'd be able to have that those first 3 turns. Okay, Into the Royal isn't bad either. What a snooze fest. Don't, like, Treasure Hunt is such a lame deck. Why would you play this in play too? Like, you know the deck. You know what the deck is. Okay, another Into the Royal. That's a little bit of a stinkers. Well, I guess we swing for 2. And in the turn. Yeah, we're gonna lose this game about 100% because they'll play an island this turn, Treasure Hunt. Yeah, and then they're going to next turn they'll just drop their Mystic Sanctuary if they don't have a Treasure Hunt in hand, which I'm sure they do. And they're already through to 21 cards. I mean, anytime you play a Treasure Hunt deck, you're basically expecting to lose. I don't know. I don't understand how Treasure Hunt doesn't do better. You know, like, I don't see it very much in like Plat or Diamond. When I think about it, there's not very many decks that would have a counterplay to it while we still didn't get a blue. Like, if you think about the best decks, right, like the Omnath, the 4-color landfall type stuff, like, how would they interact with this deck that this person's playing? Because I can't think of a way. Unless you're gonna counter like a Thassa, but I don't think that they play counters. And I think that's why that deck specifically like feels so bad, is it's literally like, can you counter my spell? Yes. Okay, you stand a chance at winning. No. It's basically like you can't interact with it. I guess you could like I guess you could make them discard their hand, or I honestly don't know. Like, maybe just get rid of the Thassa's Oracle in their hand, but that's about it. Target non-land permanent. Well, I can't even do the Into the Royals because then I would be hurting myself. I could Into the Royal. No, I couldn't. Yeah, I could have Into the Royaled my own thing and then recast it for a little bit of extra. I mean, they basically have this in the bag because they should Treasure Hunt here. That's the rest of their deck. Okay. Yep, so we lose. Let's see. We lost to the Dinosaur deck because Galta Embercleave is absolutely broken. Forbidden Jutsu. And then we lost to Treasure Hunt because it's a snooze fest of a deck and everybody who plays it is whack. If you're watching this and you play that deck more than just for like one video's worth, you're whack too. But yeah, thank y'all for watching the video. I appreciate it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out my giveaway video, the set booster box opening, and all the details for that giveaway are in the description of that video as well. So again, thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.